Hello everyone. So today this question, I was looking at this question on the community and I thought I'll probably talk about it because this is interesting and uh, there are a lot of interesting things that people are trying to do, but some simple things are not always that simple, or the use case that you are trying to maybe implement might have a very simple solution, and and that is where you need maybe help from someone like me who can guide you properly, or a consultant. Now, this question from I'll not attempt to pronounce the name, is trying to basically get notified for all the changes. Now, let us first read the question or the title. So this question is, how can I get notified for any change in the project task? So what this user is trying to do, this user is basically trying to get notified for changes, any changes, like even a field change in all the tasks, not just the task where this user is involved. So basically, when you're involved in a task, when you're viewing, like when you're a watcher, or when you are maybe a signee reporter, or maybe you have been mentioned in the comment, you will of course get notified. I mean, not always, it depends on the notification scheme, but most likely you will get notified. But what if you want to get notified for any task which is getting changed in Jira? So this is something that is not straightforward, and I'll talk about it. Now, if we talk about, let us say, the permissions. So first of all, you need to figure out whether you have permission to look at all the issues in Jira, all the tasks that you have. So you can only get notified when you have some kind of access to those, not some kind of access, but you have access to those issues. Number one. Number two, let us say you have access to, imagine that you have 400, 500 issues in your, or let us say 1,000 issues in your Jira instance. Now, out of those 500, 1,000 issues, do you really want to get notified for each and every change that is happening to those hundreds of issues? There has to be a very good reason, right? And if you are interested in selectively getting notified on maybe few of those issues, or maybe tens of those issues, then you can always add yourself as a watcher. Now, even if you add yourself as a watcher, there is no guarantee that you will get notified, because the notifications that are sent for any updates on the issue is based on the notification scheme. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. And if you want, of course, more clarity on this, talk to your Jira administrator. And the other thing that you can do is you can maybe create a filter. So filter is nothing but a way to save your search in Jira. And when you create a filter, you can actually configure it to send you some regular emails, maybe every day at a specific time. But it won't be like instant email or instant notification, right? It will be just based on, okay, these are the 10 issues that you want to track. And if something changes in those issues, maybe you can get notified, or maybe the scope that you will define is based on, let us say, whenever a field is updated or changed or whatever, you can somehow return those issues where that particular query is applicable. So you will be, by looking at the list of issues, maybe you can figure out, okay, these are the issues where there was some change. And again, I would say you have to figure out, you have to ask yourself why you want to get notified for each and every change, right? On all the issues. There has to be a good reason. I guess it seems like what this user is trying to do, this user is trying to report on the progress. That is my guess. And if that is the case, then maybe rely on a report. Maybe create some two-dimensional filter statistics based on a couple of fields that you want to track. And you always have this option to create your own dashboard in Jira, which works in a way, and it is really good. And I would still say, if you are convinced that you need to get notified for each and every change to all the issues in your Jira instance, where of course you have access, then talk to your Jira administrator, and your Jira administrators can then work on maybe configuring something. Maybe let us say configure the notification scheme. Maybe they can add you to a special role, or as a single user in the permission scheme. Maybe they can configure some custom events for you, and this would definitely need some guidance from your Jira administrator. But I would first ask you why do you want to get notified? Doing things in the tool is one thing, but there has to be a good reason, right? And that is where a good Jira administrator or a consultant would challenge you and try to solve your problem, because I think you're trying to solve a problem here, right? And it's a common thing. I've seen this before. I'm also a Jira administrator. That is fundamentally what I do, but I am also more than a Jira administrator. I'm a consultant, and I try to understand why you want to do these things that can be done using a tool, because Jira is a tool, right? We can do a lot of wonderful things with it, but there has to be some valid reason for it. What problems you're trying to solve? What is your challenge? All right, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about today in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.